Good evening. Plenty of college football action today. Let's get started. IU let Maryland rush for 353 yards today, but according to head coach Tom Allen, that was all part of the plan. Don't give up the big pass play, and thankfully for the Hoosiers, Maryland hit a couple speed bumps along the way. Although it's an 11-man effort to go undefeated through 14 games, there are some players in the Hoosier lineup that fans should take a closer look at as we approach postseason play. Juan Alvarado joins us in studio to give some insight into some of the Hoosiers to watch. If you look at the results without having seen the race, it seems that the race wasn't very competitive as Black Keybols won by 8 seconds. How competitive was the race in reality? This season, the regular season isn't about whether or not the Hoosiers can make the NCAA tournament. It's whether or not they're going to be hosting a regional at Bart Kaufman Field. And this is a roster that's talented enough to do that, certainly. Blake Bortles and Jacksonville invade Indy tomorrow. The preseason AFC South favorites are losers of 4 straight, and don't look now, but Andrew Luck can make it 3 straight wins for the first time in over 3 years. Oladipo's broken out as a star. He's been great for them. He's led them to the 6th spot in the East is where they're sitting right now. Domantas Sabonis has shown that he can be a valuable player moving forward, and they've also got guys like Lance Stephenson who come in and play their roles and help their team win as well. So I think that Indiana's exceeded expectations has been a surprise for me. I think it's got to be the national quarterfinal match between IU and Notre Dame last weekend. There was just so much energy at Bill Armstrong Stadium. And then the big goal from Austin Poncho to send the Hoosiers on to the Final Four in the College Cup. It was just tremendous.
I agree.
If you weren't able to see the match, on Friday evening, Todd Yeagley's squad will take the next step on the quest for 9 as they take on the Maryland Terrapins in the national semifinal. Our Juan Diego Alvarado has the preview of the clash. Well, Joe, we've seen 7 games of Indiana football under head coach Tom Allen dating back to last year's bowl game. What are some improvements that the team has made under him? Is the darling of the 101st Indy 500, Fernando Alonso, trying to tell us something? The race is just under 200 days away. What's so important? Oh, this qualifies. Alonso and McLaren are back. The pair are teaming up for the 103rd, the announcement coming earlier this afternoon. The former Formula One world champ is taking a break from the full-time circuit and cleared his schedule for a second shot at the Triple Crown. After years of subpar performances and living at or near the bottom of the Big Ten, the IU volleyball program developed a reputation. It was bad. They couldn't win. They couldn't draw a crowd. In 2017, they hit rock bottom, winning 1 conference game. 1! Like, that's less than 2, but more than 0? They also went on a mind-boggling run where they got swept in 8 straight matches. They lost 24 straight sets. So where did they go from there? Up, of course. I think you have to expect improvement. Like you said, especially the bullpen last year was very inconsistent. You know, I looked at it last year, looked at some of the numbers, and basically last year the bullpen was a coin flip. You know, heads, they do well and they, hold the lead or, they keep Indiana in a ball game. Tails, all heck breaks loose and the Hoosiers lose by 10. So you got to expect more consistency out of this pitching staff now that they have that experience and you know that they have that talent. On Sunday, the Hoosiers proved why they're one of the best teams in the nation, winning 4-0 over UConn at Bill Armstrong Stadium.
I think just coming out with a team as good as UConn and having them earlier in the season where they held us just a 1-0, I think coming out and just first round of the tournament, being able to have that kind of performance through and through, I think it just helps us show how good we are and just have a good momentum for the next game.
IU got off to a hot start, getting multiple shots on goal and a handful of corner kicks in the first 15 minutes. They were finally able to get on the scoreboard in the 17th minute when Andrew Gutman found a corner from Trevor Swartz with his head to give the Hoosiers a 1-0 lead. That's the superb senior's 11th goal of the season, but it was just the start for the Indiana attack.
I think we're the type of team that, once we start creating a good few chances, we just don't stop. Everything starts to click. Guys are even sharper on the ball, and it just gets better and better.
Just minutes later, IU found the back of the net again. This time it was Griffin Dorsey with his 5th of the season, 2-0. Despite being up 2 goals at the break, Indiana made the decision to stay aggressive and keep attacking in the second half.
We talked about getting the 3rd, again, without opening ourselves up, and we thought the 3rd would really be a tough one for them to deal with, and when we got that, it was huge.
Trevor Swartz was a key player in the second half for Indiana. In quick succession, he picked up a pair of assists to help IU stretch their lead to 4-0.
It sends a message to the country that, we're in great form. We're we're finishing off plays, and you don't want to be the team in our way right now.
Now Indiana will head to the round of 16. They'll host the Air Force Falcons next Sunday at Bill Armstrong Stadium. For IUS TV Sports, I'm Auston Matricardi. The Indiana baseball team has been ranked among the elite in the Big Ten and the best in the nation over the last 4 years, in no small part due to senior outfielder Logan Sowers.
In right field, a senior from Lafayette, Indiana, number 51, Logan Sowers.
The big right fielder from Lafayette, Indiana has been a fixture in the Indiana lineup since 2015, when he chose to play for the Hoosiers rather than turning pro after being drafted out of high school by the San Diego Padres.
You know, IU, we've been one of the top teams in the Big Ten for the past, 6 years, 7, 8 years. So it was kind of a no-brainer to me. Like, if I was going to go to a Big Ten school around here, I was going to go to IU.
Since making that decision, Sowers has registered over 700 at-bats in the Cream and Crimson across nearly 200 games and just recently got his 200th career hit. But according to some, he wasn't supposed to reach that milestone or even be in Bloomington in 2018. Many assumed that Sowers would be selected in last summer's MLB draft just as he was out of high school. But for some reason, he didn't get a call during the 3-day, 40-round event.
Yeah, that was tough. I think everybody kind of expected me not to be here for my senior year. Last year was just a slow start to the season.
What could have been a disappointment for the slugger instead became an opportunity. An opportunity for the second-team All-Big Ten selection, the 2016 team MVP, the 2017 Offensive Player of the Year, to cement his legacy as a Hoosier and go out with a bang. With all that he has accomplished in his IU career, the senior slugger still has one thing left on his list of goals.
The guys before me, they were getting rings, and I haven't done that yet. So that's really my main goal. And playing well is one of the starts to that. So I'm looking forward to getting a ring this year.
Sowers and the Hoosiers will have a pretty good chance to get that ring, as they're regarded as one of the best teams in the country and the favorite to win the Big Ten. For IUS TV Sports, I'm Auston Matricardi.
Now batting right fielder, number 51, Logan Sowers.